Y'all probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flows chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is. But anyway, let me go ahead and take this gum out of my mouth. I want people put people off on the fact that I'm chewing when I'm trying to talk. But this video right here will probably be, I don't know, some people might consider it controversial. Some people might consider it one of those videos where I'm just speaking my mind. Because which, in all honesty, it's an opinion piece, basically. And the whole thing, as you can tell by the title, is about this new song that they got out by Young Ma, you know what I mean? And for the most part, I respect her craft and how she's been doing up until this point. Now, for the people that might not know, she did actually come with a drill song. And seeing that, you know, I'm starting this whole drill path, regardless of the age, don't trip. But I'm starting this whole drill path, and I seen her come out with drill, and they're like, you should check it out. Tell me what you think about it. So instead of just doing a reaction, I'm just go ahead and give my opinion. And if you really want to see it, you can always go look it up because it is out. Now, you know, to give my honest opinion, it's one of those things that I just couldn't really see where she was going with it, because the beginning of the song, it was kind of talking about a female, which, you know, she's into females, so maybe that's the reason why she went with it. But being a drill song, I couldn't really see why the sole basis of the song wasn't necessarily about that. But in one part, you know, spoiler alert, she did talk about Kodak Black. She didn't really disguise it or try to disguise the fact that she was talking about Kodak Black. And for the people that remember, he did actually say that, you know, he liked her type, you know what I mean? And I guess he really wanted to smash, you know what I mean? Which it threw a few people off, including myself, seeing that, you know, Young M.A. is in fact batting for the same team, you know what I mean? And that's not to, get too personal and say that it's one of those things that I find, you know, not necessarily, I don't want to say disgusting, but it's something that doesn't bother me. That's her choice in life, or his choice in life, whatever title they carry, you know what I mean? You know, everybody got their own take in this, but to be honest, it's like, the song I found was all right. And it's not, and it's not saying that she didn't put forth her best effort, or he didn't put forth his best effort, but it was just one of those things I just couldn't really feel the vibe of it, because okay, somebody told her to do a drill song. Now this would be fine and dandy if Young M.A. was one of those that was really out there swooping and you know, whether she was, even if she was a Crip or just whatever, you know what I mean, or just somebody who's really with the business. But you know, I myself remember when she was getting pressed. And don't get me wrong, when she did the whole red live, you know, I'm thinking, oh, she a blood, you know what I mean? And which a lot of people use gimmicks in order to get on, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that because I know real bloods. Now, that's not to downplay her character or anything, but when she got pressed, you know, she retracted all that. It's one of those, oh, I'm not really a blood. Red life is entirely different, but it's red rags, it's this, but you got pressed and you're not banging blood, you're not a blood. So I really, and like I said, you know, it's not necessarily you know, people like to break down this is such and such business. I don't do none of that. If you put it out there on the internet and I feel like I need to talk about it, not even feel like I need to talk, but I want to talk about it, just talk about it. And to be honest, I find it fraudulent, because if you're either banging or you're not, you know what I mean? And not even banging, is just like, if you're representing something, represent it. If you're not, you're not. You can't say red life and then, you know, which is her choice. Let me just back that. It's her choice to choose what she want to do. But if you put it out there in the ether that you with that red life, and then you get pressed and you're talking about, well, it's not bloods, you know, I'm not a blood. And then, but you want to whoop in other songs. It's like, you know what I'm saying? People, that's the thing about not only social media, but when it comes down to this whole rap game, that's kind of funny. Which I say, some people can't separate the fact that you're either banging or you're not. You know what I mean? It's like in the music, you got people that never been street, but in order to get on, they portray that image. And not to say that necessarily her, just in general, because she could have been out there in the trenches, but as far as like banging this blood and all that, like, you should leave that to people that's actually banging blood. And I get it, she needs to put forth that persona in order to get on, because in a lot of cases the rap game don't let in too many females. And which is funny because I had seen something on a chick that was rapping in NY, and she didn't do the same as Young Ma, like with the whole gay thing. She was just straight, but her bars was there. But the simple fact that she didn't have nothing catchy didn't get her on. Like, they were trying to say why that she killed Cardi B and all these other ones. And then I had to break down the fact that, yeah, she may have killed them verbally, but in the end, the goal is to get rich. It's no longer about who got the hardest bars. You might catch a person's ear, but if it ain't catchy enough, nobody's really vibing with it. So I pointed out that fact. Now, that's something entirely different. The whole thing with drill is to be disrespectful. Now, if you're going to make a love song off drill, then it's not considered drill. So when she did her take on drill, I didn't really find it drill because it wasn't really nothing about Benny. Now, she did mention something about Kodak Black, which, you know, like I said, for the people that remember, he did say about smashing her, and she took it personal, and it was a big uproar over it. Plain and simple fact. How you gonna make a drill song and you ain't drilling? If you're a blood, but then you're not a blood because you got pressed. Like, and the whole thing I don't get, like, it's not even that I don't get it. I just don't respect the fact that, you know, like with her, like I said, like whatever sexual gender or whatever you want to proclaim, whatever way you really want to go. But I just find it, you know, it's just one of those things I find funny because it's like, you think about it. Okay, I'm back. Well, basically what I was saying is the whole thing with, you know, it's not about like what you identify with. Like, I don't care what gender anybody wants to consider themselves or take on or whatever. You know what I mean? That's to each is their own. What I can respect is the fact that she's trying to be uber gangster, super gangster. But you can't be super gangster if you folded. And what I mean by folded, it's not like she snitched, she's not a 6ix9ine or any of them cats. But it's just a simple fact. If you banging, if you claiming that red, like it's just like you swooping out there, but you ain't actually swooping when you get pressed. It's like, it's one of the things you don't necessarily take an L. You're smart because you chose life over losing life, because it could have been one of them situations that somebody was really willing to go the extra mile in order to, you know, a lot of people right now with social media are on a clout chase. You see it every time. You got dudes that want to fight me out of nowhere. I don't even know these cats, but it's just they figure they can get a little clout off a YouTube channel that's not really even growing like that anymore. It's like, I don't really pay too much attention to YouTube, but cats still feel that at one time that face was popping up in every feed. So it's like, oh, if I get down with this fool and I'm actually able to whoop him, I might get a little clout. Now this fool is doing drill, uber disrespectful. Like, maybe I can get a little something off him and get bodied. But you know what I mean? That's a whole entirely different story. The whole thing is about, you know, Young M.A and the fact that she chose to do drill. It makes absolutely no sense. Like I said, kudos to her and no disrespect to her, you know, as far as like an artist, but it's just one of those things like, why would you make a drill song and diss a dude that actually be out there doing his thing and got people that are really jug for him? Like, I get it. Young M.A, you know, she's in, I think, Brooklyn, and she probably got hitters, but it's like, they're hitters, you're not. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, do you really want to be responsible for causing something that they need to go there? And you know, when it comes to drill, some people take it as if it's a joke, but it's real deal. Like, you start doing drill, people expect you to be drilling, and if not drilling, that you will drill, or you possibly did drills before. And nothing in her past, from what I've heard, has had anything to do with anything. Like, as far as like her being out there and being a factor, and nothing. And this and the thing is, it's like, this story is not necessarily directed at her to be disrespectful. It's just one of those, I feel like, okay, you know, you're portraying to be something. You say there's a plight and a stigma and a disadvantage of being not only a female, but a female that is in fact gay. And to be honest, that's really nothing. People identify with you a lot more, seeing that you resemble a man as far as like your mannerisms. Now, you know, some of the stuff is like comical, but like to each is their own. The whole thing is nobody's respecting the fact that you're talking as if you're doing drill and you're not. You know, it's like, that's like me claiming the South and then get pressed and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not a Southerner, but I'm over here saying Sood and all this. Like, they be like, hold on, you know what I mean? But like I said, teach his own. This is one of those videos is just for her, you know what I mean? And for the masses that, you know, if you're gonna do drill or you want to get into music that's gangster, expect gangster stuff to come, but don't, when it does come, you want to change the script and be like, oh, well, I don't do that because, you know, the real hit the fan. Understand, just because you got drillers and you got fools that spin don't mean nothing. It's will you do the spinning. And as a female or whatever you proclaim, you should just sit back. You don't got to go above and beyond to be extra masculine. Just sit back. I don't respect chicks that are like that. I don't respect nobody that's, you know, it's like, look, if you're doing it, that's cool, but you ain't got to prove you gangster. And it's funny because I've actually had conversations, like, as far as, like, people, they feel like they want to press, but you don't go there because you don't want to, you know, catch no hate crime. But it's just like, and plus, you, at the end of the day, regardless of what you claim, you know, they don't want to hit no woman. So, you know what I mean? But don't be surprised, young and May, if you do, you know, continue doing what you do and somebody actually touch you, you know what I mean? Then it's like you can't scream foul then. It's just, hey, you open that door, you know what I mean? Drill ain't no trend. It's real. And believe me, the song that I put out and the other one I put out, I expected that it's always a chance somebody want to slide back, but that's what it is. But that's a difference between me and other cats. Like, I really was out there and still, you know, if need be, get out there, and I won't send nobody, you know what I mean? But that's on another story. But yeah, my opinions of the song that Young M.A. did for Kodak Black, it was weak, you know what I mean? Let me take that back. It was alright, but stick to bars. Just, you know, stick to bars. You ain't got to show extra masculinity in order to prove anything to nobody. I liked you more when your bars were just eating cats up and they couldn't verbally message you. Don't talk about spinning blocks because you're not gonna drill nobody. You know, stick to, you know, bumping, whatever, you know what I mean? But leave the drill and all that gangster for the people that's really out there and really ready to get it, you know what I mean? Other than that, y'all sabe it. To the homies, buenas noches.
Kneel before Zod!